The party was supposed to be a beautiful evening. I had gone there with my wife, expecting her to stand by me like a real partner should. But the moment we stepped inside, she vanished into the crowd, laughing and chatting as if she had come alone. I stood there, watching her, my chest tightening with disappointment. At first, I tried to ignore it. Maybe she just wanted to mingle, I told myself. But when I walked over to her group and she waved me off like I was an unimportant guest, the shame burned deep inside me. People saw it too. They saw a husband being treated like a stranger by his own wife. It got worse when a woman walked up to me with a sly smile. "Since you're single tonight, dance with me," she said. The words sliced me open. She wasn't wrong. I looked single because my wife had abandoned me. My wife didn't even notice. She was too busy enjoying herself, acting as though I didn't exist. I accepted the dance, not out of joy, but out of humiliation. As I moved awkwardly across the floor, I saw the way others stared. Some smirked, some whispered. They knew what was happening. My wife didn't come near me, not once. The shame turned into anger, boiling silently inside me. After the dance, I excused myself and stepped out for air. That's when my anger turned into something else. Resolve. I had always supported her, always stood by her, but tonight she had made me a public fool. If she wanted to treat me like I was invisible, then she was about to learn what it felt like to lose me completely. I walked back inside and spent the rest of the night quietly observing. She looked radiant, laughing with her friends, her glass of wine in hand, without a care for me. To everyone else, she looked powerful, free. To me, she looked like a stranger I no longer recognized. That was when my plan began forming. The next morning, I started pulling away. She thought I was sulking, but I was preparing. I stopped sharing my thoughts with her, stopped giving her the attention she had once thrived on. Instead, I focused on myself, my work, my social connections, my independence. But privately, I began gathering proof of how often she ignored me, how often she embarrassed me in public. I was building a case. Then came the turning point. A colleague of mine, who had also been at the party, confessed that people were talking about what had happened. They laughed at me behind my back, saying I was more of a prop than a husband. That was the final straw. My wife hadn't just disrespected me, she had destroyed my reputation. So, I planned my revenge. I waited until her birthday party, which she had been eagerly organizing for weeks. She wanted it to be grand, with all her friends and family in attendance. I made sure everything looked perfect, smiling and playing the supportive husband. She never suspected what was coming. When the night arrived, I stood up in front of everyone with a microphone. I raised a toast, and she looked at me with pride, expecting words of love. Instead, I told the entire room what had happened at the last party. I told them how my wife had abandoned me, how a guest had mistaken me for a single man, and how she had laughed and enjoyed herself while I was humiliated. The crowd went silent. Her smile froze. I didn't stop there. I pulled out the documents I had been preparing, evidence of her dismissive treatment, my lawyer's papers, and my decision to end the marriage. Right there, in front of her family and friends, I handed her the divorce documents. Gasps filled the room. She tried to laugh it off, tried to deny it, but no one was smiling anymore. The same people she had impressed by ignoring me now stared at her with pity and disgust. Her face turned pale as whispers spread through the hall. I left the party without looking back, leaving her standing there, humiliated in front of everyone she had wanted to impress. The same way she had humiliated me, I gave it back to her 10 times worse. That night, she wasn't the star of the show, she was the lesson. From that day on, I never saw her the same way again. She wanted to play games with my dignity, but I ended the game with my revenge. I walked away free, and she was left with nothing but shame, regret, and the memory of the night her own husband destroyed the image she worked so hard to build.